Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Rob, aka DJ Ville, back with my fall 2018 suggestions video. I thank you guys so much for checking out my channel and stopping by. This is a cross section of fragrances that I will be rocking this fall. Hopefully something that I've picked catches your eye and maybe can become a part of your fragrance wardrobe. Okay? As always, if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe to my channel, like if you like what you saw, and comment. I'd like to hear what you have to say about some of the fragrances or what I suggested. All right, so first up is a fragrance from the house of Calvin Klein. I know a lot of folks think bad things when you say Calvin Klein, but I'm actually from, the old school in the sense that I remember when Calvin Klein was the, they made the 1 million, so to speak. They made the Bleu de Chanel when they were all the rage back in the day. This fragrance is the flanker from the Calvin Klein Euphoria line of fragrances. This is Calvin Klein Liquid Gold. I've got it for you to check out. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up or not. This is Calvin Klein Liquid Gold, and basically this is a really nice sandalwood, saffron, and pepper fragrance. When you smell a fragrance, it'll kind of give you the impression that this is like a really heavy, almost beastly like fragrance, but it's actually not. It's kind of a fragrance that projects kind of softly. It only kicks about a foot off of your body. So it's more like a fragrance that you're gonna, wear for more intimate type settings, meaning like if you're going out on a date, maybe a movie, maybe dinner. It's for when somebody's gonna be kind of close to you. Even though it projects soft, I get about a good like 6 hours out of this fragrance. Now, I've read a lot of reviews, and the one knock on this fragrance is that people will say it smells really sweet. I disagree with that. I don't really think this is a really sweet smelling fragrance. To me, it smells like it's a well-made fragrance, and that's the one plus that you will see if you check out reviews on the fragrance. People will often comment that they're really surprised that Calvin Klein made a fragrance that smells this well, well put together. So check this one out if you're interested. Calvin Klein Liquid Gold Euphoria. Second up is a fragrance that I did a quick first impression on a year or so back. It's from the house of Valentino, and this is Valentino Uomo Noir. All right. This isn't the Uomo Noir Absolute. This isn't the Uomo Intense. This isn't the Uomo the original. This is Uomo Noir. You don't really see a lot of videos on this fragrance because it was only available at Nordstrom. Now, if you go to the Nordstrom website, it's out of stock. So I don't know where else you can actually cop this fragrance. The difference between the bottles is that this bottle is just straight black matte finish, where the other one is like a grayish. I think that's the original, which has like a glossy finish. Then there's the Intense, it's like a black glossy. Then there's the Intense Absolute, that's like a black shiny glossy finish with like gold accents. But in regard to the juice, this fragrance is really, it's when you first spray it, you get a little bit of like citrus with a hint of booze. I can't really tell if it's like a whiskey or rum or what, but that's what you get initially. And then like this chocolatey coffee note kind of comes in, and then that rides for a little while, and then eventually you get like this cedar with a little hint of leather, really, when it's all said and done. I think I said initially in the video, I think I had wore it like 3 times. At that point, I said 6 to 8 hours. It's more like 6. I wouldn't give it 6 to 8. It's more like a 6-hour fragrance. It's not a beastly fragrance. This also is a fragrance that kind of projects about a foot off of you. So it's really another fragrance that's perfect for dates, dinners, movies, stuff like that, when you're going to be close to a person. I think it's the perfect fragrance for that. And it smells really nice, okay? When I purchased the fragrance, I want to say I paid about between 80 to like 95 bucks, or maybe 100, somewhere in that ballpark. I can't recall for certain, but it's a really nice fragrance, and I never really see this one on eBay. So I still wanted to, mention this one and put you guys up on it. So if anybody wants, if you're collecting, you want something a little different, or, a nice little jewel for your collection, check this one out, okay? Valentino Uomo Noir. Another fragrance that I really enjoy from the house of John Varvatos is the Platinum Edition, okay? This fragrance, I think, came out in about 2014 or 2015. I really like it. It's pretty simple. It's like an incense, leather, and amber fragrance. I mean, amber is pretty much the dominant note, but the incense and the leather are, co-stars to the amber. It's a fragrance that lasts about a good like 6 hours, really. It's kind of got that secondhand record store smell. If you know what that is, you'll get it. It's almost like being in somebody's house that's got like a lot of incense burning, and they've got Bob Marley playing, and it's got that vibe, kind of like a head shop type vibe, hippie vibe, so to speak. But it's a rugged, casual scent that's perfect for the fall, and I really enjoy it. You can actually get this one now for about like 35 to like 45 bucks on eBay. I've actually got 2 bottles of it, so I really enjoy it. John Varvatos Platinum Edition. This is an incredible fragrance from the house of Rasasi. This is Daarej, okay? Tons of positive reviews on this fragrance. I don't really want to say too much. It's basically like a sweet, fruity, musky fragrance. It's warm, it's balmy, it's a compliment monster. It's just a people-pleasing fragrance, and if you don't know about it, I highly suggest you find out about the fragrance. Don't sleep on it because it is from a clone house. This is a great fragrance on its own and deserves all the accolades that it's been getting. Rasasi Daarej. Incredible acquisition from the house of Nasomatto. This is Baraonda. All right, this is basically a boozy, sweet frag, but it's more than that. The opening is this incredible whiskey note. I mean, it's one of the best like boozy openings I've smelled in years. And then it transitions into this like nice, almost like a spice raisin cake smell. I've heard people say it smells like dried fruit, or like it's got this fruity note. To me, it kind of has this like almost like something with raisins that's been cooked in the oven, but not gourmandish, but more savory vibe to it from there. And it's like it kind of hangs on that note for the life of the fragrance, but it's really well done. It's not as beast mode as I think some of the other Nasomatto fragrances are, but I'm really happy to have it in my collection. I think I caught a deal on Fragrance Net or Fragrance X at some point. I think I just got it for like about 105 or something like that. It's a 30-ounce frag, but I think it's worth the money. And if you haven't checked it out, if you can get a sample, get it. Do your research. Really nice one. Baraonda, House of Nasomatto. One of the most authentic leather fragrances in the game. This is from the house of Matriarch, Black No. 1, aka Blackbird. Like I stated, this is one of the most authentic leather fragrances I've ever smelled, period, hands down. Outside of it being an authentic like lambskin type leather smell, it's also a very green fragrance. It's got like pine, it's got notes of like cannabis and other things. It's not your typical leather fragrance. It takes some balls to rock this one. I think this is for a very specific person. It's not going to be one for everyone, but if you're looking for something different, it's a niche fragrance. It's got a very specific appeal. Check it out. Now, the House of Matriarch fragrances can be a little pricey. I got this one half price. If you go to their website and sign up for their, mailings, you'll be notified whenever they have a half price sale, 4th off, 10th off, 20% off, whatever off. You'll know when they have these specials, so you can actually jump on it and get a fragrance that you like, because they're on the pricey side. But I want to say 1.7 is the typical size, or you can get like a travel size, and that's I think it's like a 15 mil or a 12 mil, can't remember exactly, but the 1.7 is like $320. So but I got it half price. So again, regardless, it's a really nice fragrance, very authentic, natural ingredients. Highly recommend it. If it's something that you think you might like, check this one out. Black No. 1, House of Matriarch. Another incredible find for myself from the house of Ormonde Jayne. This is Man. Ormonde Jayne Man. Incredible fragrance. Signature scent worthy all day long. It's like pink pepper, cedar, cardamom. I mean, it performs incredibly, lasts all day, projects. Can't say enough great things about this fragrance. All right, I'm so happy to have it in the collection. If you've never checked this one out, I highly recommend it. You can pick up a 1.7 bottle for about like 150, maybe 135 if you keep your eyeballs peeled, because I've seen them pop up every now and then online. But this is really an incredible fragrance, and it deserves all the accolades that it gets from other reviewers when they talk about how nice this fragrance is. I can't recommend it enough. Ormonde Jayne, man, perfect for the fall. Recent acquisition from the house of Ormonde Jayne. This is Ambre Royale. This is nothing like any amber fragrance you've ever smelled. First off, let me say it's a unisex fragrance, and it's unisex straight down the middle. Not all guys are gonna like this fragrance, okay? But it's done so well that if you give it a chance and you wear it and, you know, live with it for a little while, I think a lot of you guys would really love this fragrance. So it's got orchid, it's got iris, it's got, you know, amber, it's got ambroxan, it's got like a lot of notes in it. And it basically, for me, the only way I can describe it is it feels like, you know, typically an amber fragrance, it's got this heaviness where, you know, it can almost feel kind of like too thick sometimes if you overspray. This one has got this, it's not transparent, but it's got a lightness to it where I almost feels like, you know, for example, if you put on like an athletic shirt that's got a breathable material in it so you don't really sweat when you wear it. It covers you, it does what you need it to do, but it still has a lightness to it. This is kind of how this fragrance performs. It's like really, really nice. And you can pick this one up right now on Amazon for like, I want to say either $150 or $135, one of those prices, you know, and I think it's a fragrance that's worth it. Perfect for the early part of fall, in my opinion. And it could be a signature scent for you. It's made that nicely, but you know, it is a very unisex fragrance. And for some guys, they might think it leans a little femme, but I think it's fine. And if you get the opportunity to check this one out, you got to wear it. You can't just sniff the nozzle or put it on your hand and smell it a couple of times and wash it off. You actually have to wear it and see how it develops and changes and how it performs on your skin. See if you like it. Ambre Royale, Ormonde Jayne. From the house of Juliet Maud, Amour de Pallazo. This is a very well-made fragrance, and it's a fragrance that's perfect for the fall. In my opinion, especially for like late October on. It's a heavy fragrance. It's got the heavy notes, oud, you know, amber. It's got castoreum, patchouli. It's not your typical, like, you know, fragrance, but it's got legs. It lasts and lasts. I'm not gonna say it lasts all day, but it lasts past 8 hours. Okay, and there is some development, and it's a warm fragrance. It's not a fragrance for everybody, but if you are a person of a very specific taste, I think you would enjoy this fragrance. Now, when I first received the fragrance, it immediately reminded me of a fragrance that I had in my collection that's kind of considered a classic. It smells better than that fragrance. It's more well-rounded. It's got more depth, and the overall composition is better, but it's still in the same neighborhood, okay, is this older fragrance. And the older fragrance is this one. This is Balenciaga Pour Homme. This Juliet Maud fragrance reminds me a lot of Balenciaga Pour Homme, but it's a different fragrance, but it's kind of in that ballpark if you need a point of reference. So warm, cozy, distinguished, classy. I don't want to say mature because I don't think that's the right word, but it's definitely not for somebody under 30. But if you're interested, this is for a refined taste. Check this one out. Juliet Maud, Amour de Pallazo. I am a huge fan of the House of Lalique, and I ran across a line from that house that I wasn't really aware of. It's like this Noir line. I think it's like six or seven fragrances from this line, and they all have like a year stamped on the bottle that represents something specific for the founder of the company. And I've got this one. It's 1905, and it's Terres Aromatiques. Very, very beautiful presentation. The bottle is gorgeous. It comes in a black coffin with like a velvet or satiny like lining for the fragrance to sit in. Like totally great presentation. All right. The fragrance, when I looked at the note pyramid, this is the one that stuck out to me the most, and this is the one that I purchased first. It's got notes of like thyme, it's got lavender, it's got pineapple, it's got cardamom. It was different. I was like, that's a different, pyramid of notes. And then when I finally got the fragrance, it reminded me of a vintage bottle of like Halston 112. Not saying it's the same, but it kind of has that same type of DNA. It's a fragrance that I think people that are 30 years and over are going to like more, but it's not to say that if you're under 30, you won't like this fragrance. I just think that might be the first group of people it may appeal to, but really nice fragrance. It lasts about a good 6 to 7 hours. Moderate projection, smells great. I really enjoy this one. If you are into the House of Lalique, you might want to look into this Noir premium line. They've got like 6 or 7 fragrances, and this is one of the ones I have. Terres Aromatiques. From the house of Robert Graham, one of my favorites from his line of fragrances. This is Valour. The name is on the bottom. You can't really make that out, but really, really great fragrance. It's like amber, coffee, and sage. Sage is one of my favorite notes. It's in a few of my favorite fragrances, and this fragrance smells niche. I'm not gonna say that. I don't like when people say that. I'm not gonna say it smells niche. I'm sorry. It smells very high quality. This is a very well put together fragrance, and I highly suggest if you've been thinking about checking out some of the Robert Graham fragrances, this is probably the best time to do it. I've been seeing them online as low as $50. And when I purchased this one specifically, I had to actually buy it directly from Robert Graham. So I paid retail for this one, but I picked up Fortitude, which is another one from his line of fragrances, and I got that one for like $50. So, if you are on the fence, go ahead and try to pick up either Valour or Fortitude. I've got both, but for this review, I'm recommending Valour. I think this is a perfect fragrance for like the early part of fall to mid-October, okay? I think this would be a perfect fragrance for this. So this was also on my spring list. I really, really like this fragrance. It's warm, it's aromatic, it's got this really cool vibe, and I really like it a lot. So Valour from the house of Robert Graham. Here's an inexpensive fragrance that was getting a lot of buzz a few years back in Fragcom. It's Lomani Black Intense. For those that like Creed Royal Oud but can't afford it, this is a really great alternative. Now, mind you, this one only lasts about 3 hours, but it is a very, very close copy of Royal Oud. Now, understand, you can get this fragrance between 15 to $25. It's a close copy, but you can't be a perfect clone of a fragrance that costs $300+ at $15 to $25. I mean, let's be real. Before anybody jumps all over me and says, no, it doesn't smell like Royal Oud, it doesn't. It's not as nice, but I don't think it could be as nice at that price point. Before the price point, it's a really nice, well done fragrance. And if you like Royal Oud and need an alternative, check this one out. Lomani Black Intense. Here's a fragrance that I highly recommend for fall. This is Ness from the house of Geir. Very nice, bright, happy fragrance, as the name suggests. I mean, basically it's woody notes, floral notes, fruity notes. I mean, that's kind of like the way they have it listed when you go online. But it's just a really bright, happy fragrance that's got a floral back to it, but it doesn't smell feminine at all. And this is a people-pleasing fragrance. Believe it or not, a lot of people like this fragrance. If you've never checked this one out, check this one out. Ness from the House of Geir. This is a classic that I put on a lot of lists, and I'm gonna put this one on again. This is Romeo Gigli Uomo. Okay, this is a classic. This is the predecessor to Antidote by Viktor and Rolf. If you've been thinking about getting Antidote or been trying to track that one down and you can never seem to get that within your grasp, check this one out. You can definitely tell by smelling this. This is the predecessor to Antidote. It's got the benzoin, it's got the aldehydes, it's got the lavender. It's a gentleman's fragrance. Okay, very nice. You can find this one on eBay, but you really can't find Antidote. And when you do find Antidote, it's like 300 plus or 280 or something like that, something crazy. All right, and you can still find this one under 100. So Romeo Gigli Uomo. This was on my spring list. I'm gonna put this one on my fall list because this is an all-purpose Swiss Army knife type fragrance. This is just a casual or even a dressed up fragrance, but this is Sunday Cologne from the House of Byredo. All right, this is basically like citrus and spices. It's almost like a barbershop fragrance. You know what that is. This one is really clean, really well done. It says cologne, but it's an EDP concentration. This is in my spring list, putting this in the fall list. This is for more of the warmer days. But like I said before, it's a Swiss Army knife type fragrance. You can wear it like whenever you want to. It's a fragrance that can be dressed up or dressed down, and I really enjoy it. I don't really see too many folks talk about it because I think it's not something that really knocks your socks off. It's not a mind-blowing fragrance, but it's a fragrance that's done well, in my humble opinion. So if you're inclined, check this one out. Byredo Sunday Cologne. One of the best designer rose fragrances in the game, in my humble opinion. This is Cartier Declaration d'un Soir, okay? This is the rose fragrance for the guy that doesn't like rose, because it's rose and pepper, basically. The rose is bright. It's got citrus in the fragrance. The pepper like cuts the rose and keeps it grounded so it doesn't go into grandma territory. It's one of the most wearable rose fragrances in the game again. I really enjoy it. I think a lot of you guys would really like this one. If you're looking for a rose fragrance to add to your fragrance wardrobe, but you really haven't found one you like, give this one a try. You can catch this one all day on eBay, and trust me, it doesn't smell grandma. It's masculine, it's clean, it's classy, it's bright. I think you guys would really enjoy it. Cartier Declaration d'un Soir. Lastly, guys, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is Body Kouros from YSL. What is it? It's basically like benzoin, incense, eucalyptus, sage. It's got a few other notes, but not that many. It just comes off like a cherry. It's got this cherry vibe with this eucalyptus running through it. And then it's got the incense that kind of gives it like a little bit of special quality. I don't know. It's just one that I really, really enjoy, man. I've been rocking this one for years and years and years, and I've got backup bottles of this one, and I'm going to always have it in the collection. And they have reformulated the bottle change, so if you are looking to get it, like I stated, get this bottle style, not the other one that's out where the nozzle is or the sprayer is a part of the body. Do not get that one. Get this one. This is the one you want to pick up. One of my favorites of all time. I really, really enjoy this one. And Annick Monardo is the perfumer. I think it dropped in 2000. You can still find it for like 45 to 55 bucks online. All right. Hey, I thank you guys for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, like I stated earlier, feel free to like, comment, and I hope you guys would subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to check out my video. Later.